guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to react to what happens when the Queen dies. And this video was shot a long while back. This video was made a long while back. It was made in about 2018. So this was about 4 years back. But recently, as you know, that Queen has actually died. So we don't know what happens when she dies. What will happen around everything and what will happen. So I think that this video tells us everything about it. And what are your feelings about the Queen dying? Like, we are Indians, and like Queen was one of the main person, you can say, who was behind that British rule, because she lived 96 years, and like India got independence about 70 to 75 years ago. So she had seen most of it, and she was a big part of it. And like the Kohinoor diamond that she had, that is also stolen from India. So there are many artifacts and many important things stolen from India. So what are your opinion about the Queen dying? Do you feel angry with her, or do you have no relation with her?
I don't feel like I didn't have any relation with her, so I didn't feel much about her death. But yes, it was, when she died, I guess yesterday or day before yesterday. So there were people on Instagram I have seen that were kind of happy, because it's obvious that she was kind of behind the British rule in India, and so people were kind of they were writing RIP Queen Elizabeth, but still behind that there was something written in a sarcastic way, I've seen. So yes, that was what going on over here. But yes, I don't know that what happens when she dies, when Queen dies. And even she had Kohinoor diamond from India, so what will happen to, what about that diamond now? And what will there be any another queen after her, or what will happen? We are just going to see in this video. What about you? How you felt?
I don't know about it, but the thing is, like, the Prince Charles, as far as your question is concerned, the Prince Charles will like take over the throne, and now he will be the. I don't think he will be the queen, but he will be the king, kind of the monarch of the country, and that might be the case. And as far as Queen is concerned, to me, I think so. It was an okay feeling. It was like okay, but because she was not the queen at that point of time, she was about, like, she became the queen after India's independence. So that was a big thing, and I don't think she had that much of powers to like tell the Britishers to come out of it. I don't know much about it, so I'm very excited to see what is there in this video. And what are your feelings as Americans also? What do you guys feel about her? Do let us know that in the comment section below. So let's watch this video.
After nearly 66 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth II is the longest reigning monarch in British history, and has been a constant and calming force amidst the fast-paced changes her country has faced, making it even more inconceivable to think about what happens when she dies.
Yeah, for 96
Born in
years.
1926, she was expected to live a relatively normal life. Well, normal at least by royal standards. As third in line to the throne, spending most of her early years out of the public eye. Everything changed in 1936, when her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated the throne in order to marry his true love, Wallis Simpson.
Wow.
You see, back then, marrying a divorcee, not to mention a two-time divorcee, was a huge faux pas to the Church of England.
A king married a two-time divorcee.
Princess Elizabeth's father, King George VI, ascended to the throne, making her the next in line.
Okay.
And by 1952, following his death, her time arrived, and the rest is history.
1952, after 5 years after India's
independence.
independence.
Throne in 1952, she was a head of state in 7 countries.
Pakistan.
The size of the Commonwealth has since expanded to 53 countries, comprising nearly 1/3 of the world's population, and still includes 16 countries where the monarch is officially the head of state. This brings us to Operation London Bridge, the plan that no one wants to talk about.
Operation London Bridge.
What happens when the Queen dies?
What
No
happens when
matter
the
how
Queen dies?
secretive Buckingham Palace may be about the plans that surround her death, everyone knows exactly what to do, and the plans, which were uncovered by The Guardian, are complex, intricate, and timed out to the exact minute.
Wow.
Phase 1. D-Day. According to The Guardian, on the day the Queen dies, Edward Young, the Queen's private secretary, will be the first official to convey the news, setting Operation London Bridge into full gear. And at the exact moment in which she passes, Prince Charles will become king, and Camilla will become queen-ish. We'll explain that a bit later. On a
Queen-ish.
secure line, Young will directly inform the British Prime Minister that London Bridge is down.
Oh.
And the news of her death will be distributed to various heads of state before it is disclosed to the general public. Once the Prime Minister is alerted, the Foreign Office's Global Response Center will alert the 15 governments where the Queen is still considered the head of state. From there, the 37 nations where she still serves as a political figurehead will also be informed. After this, the announcement of her death will be shared with both the UK's Press Association and the rest of the media outlets across the globe. Outside the palace, the news crews will be able to assemble in a predetermined area next to the Canada Gate. The same message will appear on the palace's website on a dark background.
The
All the
announcement we
flags
don't
of the
want to
palace
make.
will be lowered and bells will toll. Both houses of parliament are expected to gather within hours of her death. And on the evening of his mother's death, Charles will make his first address to the public as king.
Wow.
Now, all of this is assuming that she dies in London. If that's not the case, here's how things will play out. Scenario 1.
there's
If the
another
Queen dies
time.
abroad, the royal equivalent of Air Force One will fly a coffin to the location of her death, accompanied by the royal undertakers, and return the Queen's body to London. Scenario 2. If the Queen dies at her Sandringham estate in Norfolk, her body will return to London by car a few days after she passes. Scenario 3. The most intricate scenario of all is if the Queen passes while at the Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where she spends 3 months a year. Scottish rituals will play out before her body returns to London. Phase 2,
Oh my
D-Day
God.
+1. Flags will be raised the morning after her death, and at 11 a.m., Charles, the eldest male descendant of Queen Elizabeth, will be proclaimed king. At this point, Charles has waited longer than anyone else in history to assume the throne. Phase
Actually.
3, D+1 through 12. Following the first 24 hours after her death, Great Britain will enter a 12-day mourning period, culminating with the Queen's funeral.
12-day
King
mourning
Charles
period.
will tour the country, stopping in Edinburgh, Belfast, and Cardiff to appear at services to honour his mother. During this time, he will also meet with various elected leaders. D+1, Westminster Hall will be closed for cleaning. Elaborate and lavish funeral preparations will begin. D+4, the coffin will be moved to Westminster Hall during a procession that is expected to take place throughout London. When the coffin arrives, Big Ben will chime. Her body will then lie in state for 4 days. The Queen's orb, scepter, and the imperial crown will be placed on her coffin, and visitors will be allowed to pay their respects for 23 hours a day. D+9. In the early hours of the morning, the jewels will be cleaned before the funeral begins. Daily life will come to a halt in London. Businesses and stores will be closed. Big Ben will toll at 9 a.m. on the dot, and the bell's hammer will be covered with leather so that the bell rings in muffled tones throughout the remainder of the day. D+12.
Wow.
Her coffin will then be moved into Westminster Abbey, and the funeral will begin by 11 a.m. While the media will be allowed to film the services, the faces of the royals will not be shown during prayers. After the funeral, the same carriage that carried her father will return her body to her final resting place at Windsor Castle. It's an understatement to say the Queen's death will mean huge changes for the House of Windsor. As previously mentioned, Prince Charles will become king. So what happens to Camilla? Most royal experts believe that the Queen's death will technically make Camilla the Queen Consort, but any speculation about her title is just that. King Charles will ultimately make that official decision. The Queen's death will move Charles's eldest son, Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, up in the line of succession to heir apparent. After that, William's 3 children will fill the line in their birth order. This includes his daughter. Thanks to a 2011 vote by the British Commonwealth, Princess Charlotte will be second in line, following her big brother George. So what does this mean for Prince Harry,
Wow.
Charles's youngest? Back in 2013, before the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge had children, Prince Harry was third in line to the throne. Now, Prince Harry is 6th, followed by any children he and Meghan Markle may have. And last but not least,
But I don't
there's
think so
Brexit.
they are
The
anymore
truth of the
there.
matter is that the monarch has little to do with the UK leaving the European Union. But considering all of the change that will come from a departure from the EU, the monarchy may be the last standing and the most stable institution left.
Oh god, there is a whole lot of procedure, a long procedure after Queen Elizabeth's death. Like, it's very much decided at what will happen when Queen dies in London and what will happen when Queen dies in abroad. Right? It's a whole procedure, and even it is decided that who will become the next queen or king. Of course, it will be decided, but after that king, after that, or after that queen, it is also decided for the 6 7 generations. It is pre-decided that who will be the next queen or king, whatever. But yes, we have also seen a video of Queen Elizabeth, right? Like what happens when she do action like this, or when she shift her purse from this hand to this hand. We have seen a video regarding her, and we've come to know that okay, there is a lot of minute things, little things that are going around her whenever she is out at public appearance or at media appearance. And we have seen in this video that also there is a lot of there is a long procedure regarding informing the public that she's dead, she's dead, and she is normal. Like first of all, that I don't remember the name, but that person will inform to first Prime Minister, and I guess he will say that London Bridge is down. That's their code word, right? So yes, that's how they communicate that she is no more, and then Prime Minister will tell to another states, and then to media. Media, I guess, is informed very much last. Right, so there is a whole lot of procedure even in informing about her. But yes, that was a lot of information, I guess, in this video.
Yeah, because the queen dying is a very historic or very big event for the whole world to like take over. Because the thing is, she has been there for every time. Like whenever, if you ask her parent, they will know about the queen. If you ask her grandparent, they'll know about the queen. So that is how long she has been there. And like seeing her die is like, okay, it is the kind of 2020 thing, because we have seen so many people die in 2020, 2021, and all these recent years many people have died, many prominent people have died. And so like all the people that you have loved in those years like have gone. Like queen also had some mixed feeling. We all had our mixed feelings about it. And I also think like no one can replace her at this moment. Like Prince Charles might go on to the throne, but as the Vanity Fair, like the anchor told at the last, like the person who will replace her and the person who will replace them will only be the, like you can say, last standing monarchy, because people are no more into monarchy. And even UK people are also like, the queen was only there just for the respect, just for the matter of respect, and like understanding her, this and that, but no like directions or like policies are gone through her. It was just the prime minister and the whole parliament who were making all the decisions. So I don't know like what Prince Charles will do, or will he make sure that okay, there is no more monarchy, because they said like Prince Charles waited a long time, because he was born, he thought okay, very soon my mother will die and I'll get the throne, but she was not even ready to die at all. So I don't know, we should not laugh at it. And like of course a person has gone out of this world and we should be like sad about it, but okay, whatever she has done, it's okay. I don't think there's a good point like fighting over it, and like okay, what had she done or not.
And she died because of her age. She lived for 96 years. It was not that she died out of any disease.
Yeah,
it was obvious.
Yeah, so it is very hard for a queen to have a disease, because there are so many people to take care of it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It was the age.
Yeah.
So she has to die now, someday or the other.
So do let us know what are your feelings about her dying, and what do you guys think about it. Do let us know that in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
subscribe to our channel. Bye.
Bye.